Hey everyone, it's Hindash and I'm here with Timmy. Welcome back to my channel. I love how everyone was asking where Timmy was in my last video, but he was chilling. Sometimes we have to keep the video a bit professional, but I mean, where's the fun in that? So today's video is going to be sponsored by Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to be using a lot of brand new products and integrating them with Beautopsy as well. And what I'm mainly trying in this video is the cryo recovery face mask. Now you guys know I love using cold tools on the face to depuff, and I always use the blue globes. So this is very interesting to me, and I really wanted to try it out. And for the rest of the look, I'm actually gonna go for a full coverage but glowy look. I feel like I don't do a lot of full coverage on my channel, so this is the perfect time to do so. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and follow me on Instagram at Hindash. And I'll see you in the next look. Bye. Alright, so here we have the beautiful Brenda, and I'm so excited to be starting this off with skincare, because if you guys know me and watch my channel, I'm always using a tool to depuff or to cool down the skin, and Charlotte Tilbury just released a mask. This is the cryo recovery face mask, and it's supposed to be left in the fridge, in the freezer actually, for about half an hour, and then you can leave it out a bit if it's too cold. I'm going to be putting this on for 10 minutes, and it's supposed to have acupressure points and target certain areas to depuff the skin. I'm going to be massaging this in as well to kind of aid in that drainage, and it just feels so good. So we have the beads and the gel pads, and that's going to really aid in that cooling effect. And again, I'm leaving this on for about 10 minutes and then taking it off. For the rest of the skincare, I'm going in with the Magic Serum Crystal Elixir and then applying that all over the face. And I'm going to be massaging that in as well, and really just work it into the skin, get that circulation going again, and just massage it in. I've tried this mask, and I think this is the perfect treat to give yourself if you're getting ready in the morning. You can kind of walk around, because when I use the other tools, I have to just sit there or stand and, massage them in. So this is very convenient. For an under eye cream, I'm going to be taking the Cryo Recovery Eye Serum, and I'm placing that underneath the eye and all around the eye area. And the tip of this is also depuffing and cooling, so I'm really just massaging that in around the bone and just let it do its job. And I'm going to be applying a generous amount and really working it in and let it sink in, because I'm going to be going for a full coverage glam, and I still want the skin to look very glowy, so skin prep is key. And this is how I'm massaging it, so basically all around the eye, focusing on the brow bone and really just aid in that drainage, and this feels really, really good. I'm all about treating yourself and treating the models and just, making everything a pleasurable experience. For moisturizer, I'm going to be taking the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream Light and applying that all over the skin. I really like this because it is a lighter version, obviously, of the Magic Cream, and it sits beautifully on the skin. It's still very, very hydrating, but it does have kind of almost a velvet finish. I don't know how to explain it, but it still feels very nourishing on the skin. And because I am going in with a matte full coverage foundation, I really want to make sure I have everything nice and prepped and hydrated. And again, I'm taking that down the neck and massaging it in. For lips, I'm going to be going in with the Magic Lip Oil Crystal Elixir and applying that all over the lips. And I always love to do a thicker layer than I normally would in the beginning, because by the time we're done with makeup, the lips have pretty much soaked that all up and they're ready for lipstick. For foundation, I'm taking the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation in the shade number 9. But first, I'm going to be adding the Hollywood Flawless Filter in 5.5 on the high points of the face, so cheekbones, nose, and chin, so that by the time I put foundation on, you still get a bit of that glow peeking through those areas. And now I'm going to be going in with the foundation and starting from the jawline and blending inwards. And I'm going to be using both stippling and blending techniques to really make sure that we get that beautiful full coverage layer without adding a lot of product on, because I truly believe in letting the formula of the foundation do its job. So applying a thin, even layer all over the skin, and I'm definitely going in with a foundation that matches her chest and body. Because Brenda's face is much lighter than her body, I'm going to be matching it to her chest and neck. For concealer, I'm going to be taking the Magic Away Concealer in the shade number 6, and I'm going to be using this to highlight the areas and to conceal as well. But again, mainly to highlight. And this looks very light, but I'm going to be blending it in with the foundation. I know I went a bit light, but it's going to look beautiful in the end. And using a beauty blender, I'm just going to be pushing that into the skin tiny bit over the eyelids, but mainly focusing it on the center of the face. And you really want to press and roll this in so that it really sinks into the skin. I'm going to be setting everything in place with the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in the shade number 2. This is one of my all-time favorite face powders. I'm sure if you've used this, you love it. Everyone is obsessed with it, so you have to give it a try. And I'm going to be applying that with a fluffy domed brush because I want to get that precise application and push it into the skin. It really does make the skin look airbrushed and flawless. I mean, pretty much. And a light layer all over the areas that I want to highlight. It just looks beautiful, and you can touch this up throughout the day. It's not going to be cakey. It's not going to add heaviness. A must. Next, I'm going to be taking my Hindash Cosmetics Beautopsy palette, and I'm going to be going in with blush. So I'm using Boy and Love. And I'm going to be creating this really beautiful orange peachy shade and placing that high up on the cheekbones and bringing it in to the apples just a tiny bit. Placing that down the nose as well for a sun-kissed look and a bit on the chin. And this is just going to really give her that beautiful, healthy flush of color because she has this beautiful tan skin, and these colors are going to complement her really well. Tiny bit on the forehead, just to make everything cohesive. For brows, I'm going to be taking the brow lift in dark brown and brushing her brows up and filling them in. I'm mainly going to be focusing on the tail of the brow and start to define that and fill it in very lightly. And just flick the brow up to create hair-like strokes and fill in any tiny gaps and make the brow look more even. So again, not really changing the shape of the brow, just making everything more neat. Then I'm going to be going in with the brow fix in clear and brushing that up and setting the brows in place. I love using clear brow gel personally. I don't like the tinted ones much because I feel like it gets a bit messy, and I do like to see the gaps between the hairs and the skin peeking through, if that makes sense. But I do use the tinted one in some cases depending on the hair color. Moving on to the eyes, I'm going to be taking the Super Nudes Duo Liner. This has a dark brown and a nude. I'm using the dark brown side to create a liner and smudging it in with a brush. And I'm going to be smudging that and smoking it all the way in, just with whatever is left on the brush. And going back to my Beautopsy palette, I'm going to be taking the shade Feel and then putting that in the crease. And this is the perfect brown. And I'm going to be smoking it in and just defining her crease. And it's going to create this really beautiful warm brown shade. And connecting the crease work with the brown that I did, because we're going to be going in with a darker brown. And underneath the eyes as well to really smoke out the outer corners. Now I'm going to be going in with Intrafatum and taking the shade Intra, which is a beautiful, really rich chocolate brown that's very red toned. I love this. I'm going to be applying that all over the smoked liner that we did. And as you can see, you create that beautiful chocolate brown wing that I just am obsessed with. And because we have that darker brown liner underneath, it created this beautiful gradient. And now I'm going back with Feel and intensifying the crease. Going in with tan lines, I'm mixing the two, but hitting tan more and then applying that on the lid. And this is just going to create this really stunning airbrushed looking eyelid. It's going to be very matte. It's just going to make that area pop forward and bring so much light into the eyes. And I'm just tapping that in, and as you can see, it already has this really beautiful diffused glow, even though it's matte. Going in with mascara, I'm going to be taking the Pillow Talk mascara and applying that all over the lashes. And this creates this really beautiful lift that I love and separation. And a tiny, tiny bit underneath the lower lash line. I don't want anything heavy, which this mascara is great for separating. And when you're done with lashes, I'm going to be moving on to the face, but I'm going to be taking my Beautopsy palette again and dipping into Intrafatum, which again has that chocolate brown and black. And I'm taking a liner brush and just emphasizing her moles and beauty marks. And I love doing this, especially when you're doing a very full coverage look. This brings back life and just makes the skin look more fresh and like you have nothing on, even though you have a full face of makeup on. For highlighter, I'm going to be taking the Nudegasm face palette, and I'm going to be switching between the two highlighters. With a fluffy brush, I'm going to be taking that on the tip of the nose, the bridge of the nose, and the chin, a bit on the cupid's bow, and of course the high points of the face, so the cheekbones. For lip liner, I'm going to be taking the Lip Cheat and Hot Gossip and lining her lips. I'm going to be slightly overlining her lips and filling them in very slightly. And this is a warm toned peachy pinky nude. For lipstick, I'm going to be taking the Super Nudes lipstick in Catwalking. Such a beautiful shade. Again, it is on the peachier side and with a hint of brown. I'm applying that all over the lips and really working it in and going over the lip liner as well. And I always take a lip brush with the lipstick and just work it into the lips, push it in. It's going to make it last so much longer and look much more beautiful. And it just sits on the lips so much nicer when you do this. And setting everything with the Airbrush Flawless setting spray. To get rid of any of that powdery look, this really locks in makeup beautifully. It's become one of my favorite setting sprays. I love it. And that is the final look. I really hope you enjoyed this beautiful full coverage but glowy look. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram at Hindash. And in the meantime, don't forget to check out the rest of my videos, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.